So I'm here with Bishop and their team manager Chris Hardy after 2-2 draw with Guisborough. What are your thoughts on the game, Chris?
I think the game was played in a good spirit. I think the both sides give it a go. Two good sides on show tonight. I thought it was a decent game of football. I think it's a 2-0 up. I'd like to have thought we could have got in, into the half with that lead intact. Didn't prove to be the case. 2-1, that scoreline again, that sort of gives a little bit of momentum. In conceding and going twos apiece. I thought that we kept pushing and kept asking questions. If I'm being hypercritical of the side, maybe we should have scored 3 or 4 this evening, but then we shouldn't need to be winning, scoring 3 or 4 goals to win games of football, particularly at home. So again, we'll look at the goals we've conceded. I don't think they were particularly good goals, and ultimately conceding the 2 goals have cost us 2 points tonight.
I mean, obviously you got to mention the 2 goals. It feels as though every time we go 2-0 up, there's always this bit of a feel around the ground of the game's not over yet. They could still get 2 easily, and which is, it's the case today. And it was the case last week. It's obviously frustrating on everyone's end. Is it something maybe? Well, you see, you don't want to score 3 or 4 goals, but if it gets to the case of having to do that, is it maybe the situation changed it up?
I think ultimately what we've got to do is defend Leeds better. And I think we did that for the most part in the first 45 minutes. And then we've had a little lapse in concentration. Like you say, that's changed the dynamics of it. It was an end-to-end game this evening. Both teams were fully committed to trying to win the game. None more so than ourselves. And like I say, I think from the point of view of having that lead and having leads similar in previous games, we can start to potentially point the fingers, at we're not doing this, we're not doing that. But the reality is, the guys have put a shift in tonight. I'm disappointed that we haven't got all 3 points. They're disappointed in there that we haven't got all 3 points. But I think there was some marked improvements in terms of what we did as a collective defensively tonight. It wasn't enough to get us all 3 points, unfortunately.
I mean, obviously at the end we were probably quite unlucky with either a block or a save from the keeper. Just before full time. These little moments change games massively, really. It's just I think it'd probably be the little mistakes we make, maybe if we get a little foot there or the ball bobbles in the right way for us, game changes, who knows what happens.
Let's not forget, we've probed all evening. We've had big chances all evening. We've scored 2 goals. We could have scored 4 or 5 tonight. But again, it shouldn't be about putting that pressure on the forward guys to score that amount of goals. We've got to do a little bit better, as a team, as a collective, to keep goals out equally. But like you say, there's a disappointment in the changing room. There's no getting away from that. But at the same time, like you say, there were no mugs tonight. They came here with a good attitude to play. They were a decent side. They had good energy. They probed. They asked questions. And I thought, like I say, we stuck to task. We just weren't good enough on the evening to take all 3 points.
Obviously now turn our heads to Wycombe, which is an opponent we've yet to face this season, strangely, but no doubt will be a hard game such as this.
They're all hard games, particularly when when you're on the road, which we are on Saturday. So we'll be prepped and prepared for a difficult game. But hopefully, again, some of the positives we've seen this evening, if we can get them into action, then I'm sure we'll give ourselves a fighting chance of winning, and taking all 3 points on Saturday.
Right, cheers, Chris. Thank you.